Guys, how's it going and welcome back? Well, it's review day for the LG 32GK650F 2560 by 1440 display. So I picked this up almost a week ago at Walmart for $399.99 Canadian plus tax. On their website, by the way, you're going to pay like $560 some, and most other places where I've seen it available for sale, same deal. But for some reason, in store at Walmart, if you go in there, it's only $399. So I figured, well, I'm scooping this. I've been searching for a new monitor for quite some time now. I've looked at written reviews, I've looked at YouTube videos, I've looked at it all. And I've never had issues with LG products before, and I really like the LG display that came with my computer. It's an IPS panel 27-inch, but it's only 1920 by 1080, and I wanted a bigger screen. It didn't have to be huge difference, but I wanted the availability to a lot higher resolution as well, which for me makes a huge difference in gameplay, of course, because the better your resolution that you can get, the better the graphics look, etc. We kind of all know this, right? But I am going to start off by saying for a gaming monitor, it is fantastic. It is a night and day difference, even in the same product brand, by just stepping up from that 1920 by 1080 into this native display of 2560 by 1440. It is a huge difference, and I'm sure that you would really love this thing. Now, the main display viewable area for screen is actually 31.5 inches. There is a bit of a black border around the edge, but this is still actual screen material. The framing is virtually borderless, so there's no overlapping plastic or anything. It's just right on the edge. So I guess the black area is basically where they've glued it to the frame on the inside for the panel. And it's less than 1/4 of an inch, and it's not a big deal. But even for running full tilt graphics, for the game and its full resolution up to this level, which is the max it can pull, it's doing fantastic. Now I've got a Ryzen 7 system, of course, which is an 8-core, and it kicks butt pretty good. My graphics card is only a 4 gig Radeon graphics card. It's a 570 series, and so you don't need an actual high-end video card or even machine, to be honest, to get it to look fantastic. Now, I was even looking at 4K TVs, but try finding a TV with a display port, which is what you need for the higher refresh rates. Now, on a TV, you'd probably only get about 75 hertz, which is still more than adequate, but 144 hertz is still way better, right? Obviously. And this is running right now at 144 hertz at its full native res. Oh, and I'm so done. Oh, no way, no way, no way. Okay, I'm yanked. But, oh, come on. Die, man, like seriously. Good, thank you. But anyhow, it is just eye-popping, even at when it comes to the factory settings for the screen. It's doing great. Now, this does support FreeSync, and it does have 1 millisecond blur thing feature to it as well. We'll go through the menu in a little bit, but it does an awesome job. So I'm quite impressed with that. And I'm dead. Good. So anyways, let's go through a little bit. So on our menu here, go to our input, we have HDMI 1, 2, and DisplayPort. My screen came with a DisplayPort cable, and I do have DisplayPort on my video card, so that's important if you want to get the 144 hertz out of this thing. I do have my Mac computer, by the way, tied into HDMI 1 using a Thunderbolt to HDMI adapter. I am going to actually order in a Thunderbolt 2 to DisplayPort adapter and see if I can up the hertz scale, because right now I'm kind of at 75 hertz coming off the back into this screen at the native resolution, but this screen will actually run 4K off of my Mac, and my Mac does have a 2 gig Radeon video card in it. So 2 gig versus 4 gig, PC versus Mac, the Mac is able to push this to 4K. Even though this is not technically marketed as a 4K display, it actually does it. And at the resolution of 4K, which is 3840 by 2160, we'll show you that in a minute. However, let's go into the settings area. Gamer mode 1 is default, and it seems to be a really nice appealing picture. So if we were to scroll through this, so let's go over here. You know, you see where it's kind of getting more brighter, it's getting washy. This is called reader mode. It's very dull, very bleh. So Gamer 1 seems to be the best. So that puts the black stabilizer at 50, response time at faster, motion blur of course is turned off, FreeSync is off, and we're at 144 Hertz. Now we can change all this stuff too. Plus the video card, I have a program that runs my video card where I can override even more stuff than what the screen does. So I can make it a lot more eye-popping experience, but for this video, I wanted to just, you know, show you this is what you get when you fire it up out of the box and do nothing, right? And it's still great. And of course we have our blur reduction, FreeSync, black stabilizer, response time, crosshair, all that stuff there. Picture adjust, we can do brightness, contrast, sharpness, gamma, color temp, RGB, and so on, or reset. So if you do screw something up, you can always go and just reset the whole thing to factory. Now, smart energy saver, leave that turned off. You don't need it anyways, it's just ridiculous. But those are the basic menu choices that you go through and for setting stuff up. When you want to power off the monitor, you just bring this up and then you push the little toggle stick toward the back and it will shut off the display. And then of course you got game mode down here, which tells you your gamer mode, so you got quick access times here without having to go through too much menu stuff. Stabilizer 75, you know, 100%, gamer 2 is at 60. 50 seems to be the best. I like 50. It seems to be the best display setting there. Then when you're done, you can just let it sit and it'll disappear, or you just click it and that's it. Now, Mac side. So now on the Mac, we're doing a mirror image for you guys for this. System preferences, displays. 3840 by 2160 is what we get access to. We're currently at 75 Hertz. So if we go up to the top end here, we're at 4K. And we're at 30 Hertz, but we can go 25 or 24. It's going to come up with this little error message. You'll get the same error message in some of your video games that just will not support its native resolution, so it'll knock you back to like, you know, whatever your max is for that game type of thing, right? And it'll show you this is the current resolution on here, this is recommended resolution, so your current resolution will be for your game. Need for Speed Undercover, for example, it cannot go to native resolution of this screen, so it actually knocks it to 1920 by 1080 to still give us a full screen. We can go 2 more levels up in resolution, but then our screen gets a little compressed and we get some black bars on the side, but still more than a big enough picture to play, and it is a lot nicer, so it's kind of like up to you what you want to do with that one. But you can get this actually Quad HD monitor does run actual real 4K, but you're going to need a Mac to do it, or probably a much higher end video card in your PC, because the one I have is a 4 gig and it is just not up to the snuff to do it yet. I have a 2 gig in my Mac. Now, mind you, my Mac is a 5K Retina display, and I can run 2 4K displays at the back, or 1 5K. So, I mean, there are differences, obviously. But now, as far as this display goes, whether you're on a PC or a Mac with this thing, even at the higher resolution, I am not going to suggest that you do any kinds of graphic arts and design work. It doesn't have it's not up to snuff for that. You need real, true blue, born 4K, 5K displays, and preferably something with a glass panel, not a matte panel, to be able to see the colors properly. You know, and you're talking even a 5K matte panel display from LG is still $1,800. I mean, Apple's panel displays externally are of course much more superior, because the industry standard for graphic arts and design and video and music is Mac, and that is just a cold hard truth that everybody needs to learn to accept. It has always been that way, and it's always going to be that way unless things ever change, because even the output quality graphic wise out to a printer, even if it's the same printer, the Mac will still do a far superior job than any PC. So it's kind of the way it goes. However, in the case of this screen is fantastic for gameplay. It really is, and it's got a good color palette. And I haven't adjusted anything. I have just left this factory settings for you guys. But great for game. Text is really good, so if you're typing letters or whatever, it's really good for that. It's awesome. Watching videos on YouTube, definitely there, that sort of thing. But if you're going to try, like I said, to do any kind of video editing, you need a Mac, because you're going to want to change coloration for one thing, and that's an important thing. You need to be able to edit those color palettes to get more to what you want or need out of that thing. Pictures, the same thing. You want to really enhance a picture, you need a really, not just a high quality screen. Like, you could go and spend $5,000 on a screen for your PC, and that's fine. You're going to get that part solved, but then you still got to solve the output, which you're not going to be able to do that. You know, it's just the way software and hardware works together, kind of thing, you know. And I've been into this stuff since 1981, guys. So, you know, I know what I'm talking about here. You know, and so, but with doing what it's meant to do for this screen, it does a fantastic job. It really does, and I'm very happy with it. Even having the Mac displayed on this is really nice. It's not as nice as 5K. You can see, hopefully, in the video, the difference. I'm recording this video, by the way, in 4K level, because I tried it at 1080p and it sucked. So hopefully 4K shows better, but real life shows even more better yet. So I want to show you a game thing on the Mac side here. This is a game called Motorbike by Meccano, and I love this game. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. But just to give you a little bit of a rough idea here. So the sound from the Mac is actually going through my speakers for my PC because of the cabling. It reroutes. There's a speaker headphone jack on the monitor, so HDMI and DisplayPort can actually carry not only video but audio signal and put it out to your speaker. So my speakers are actually plugged into the back of the screen. This way, the Mac, its speakers are shut down and they're rerouted to this screen with the speakers. And then when I shut the Mac off on this monitor and go back to PC, it goes back to its default setting, and then the PC takes over. So it's kind of cool to be able to sit here with just 2 keyboards, 2 mice, and just do everything on one screen, and then just look over there when I need to. But as you can see, I mean, we definitely have something that's very close-knit together. And I'm gonna wipe out! Yeah! So in looking at color, you can really see, you know, like 5K Retina with a glass versus, you know, this running at its native resolution and it's a matte. That does make a difference. Even just the matte paneling does make a difference. But even the 5K display that LG puts out is still a matte panel. It's not a glass panel, which does help, but also being a Retina display really does help a lot too. So the next thing I want to do here, other than kill that guy, we're going to change the resolution to 4K, and we're going to view this same game in 4K. So we'll go up here and we'll change that to 4K. And 30 hertz, you know, is fine because that's what we're going to get for our fastest hertz. And that message is going to come up and annoy us for a minute, so we'll let it just do its thing and it'll just go away on its own. So now you can see that it's at 4K res, it's getting a lot better, you know. So the Mac is actually able to push this display and make it better. And I haven't even adjusted contrast, brights, nothing, still factory settings. Now I could get this to be much, much closer to the Mac 5K Retina by just adjusting some brightness, contrast, and gamma, and it would be very, very close. Like on camera, you'd never be able to tell the difference, but in face-to-face, you would still be able to tell the difference a bit, so, you know. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, yes, I did it. Been trying to do this one for a while. And we're done. Ah, boom. Okay, so you get the idea, right? I mean, that's pretty cool. So you can push this display to 4K rather easily on a Mac computer. And that's a late 2015 iMac, 27-inch 5K Retina. So let me just make sure that I'm back to normal here. 60 Hertz, yes, no. I want 75 Hertz. That's where I want to be. And we're at the native resolution, which is where we're going to leave it. And we're all good. So, back to PC land. That quick and easy. And I still got an HDMI port free. I'm hoping the display port adapter and cable will actually allow me to get a little bit more hertz out of the display going to it, because I can run twin 4Ks off the back or a single 5 on the Mac. So I do want to get that adapter and see if that improves things even more so, and then go from there. But all in all, it's a fantastic monitor. Now, it does go landscape where it is. You can twist this around to portrait mode. You've got left and right movement, forward and backward, and of course you can move the display up and down to your comfort eye level to where you want it. Now, if I'm going to sit here and kind of like chill and relax, I would actually I would put this display down at the bottom most portion and play my video game that way, and I would be just happy and comfortable with it. Okay, but otherwise, depending on what I'm doing, I have it up this way, but I can also go at any point I want. I can stop until I come to the end of each cycle of the stand, and I'm good to rock and roll. Now, I think it's a very awesome monitor, and for what I wanted in a display, it's great, it's fantastic. It's not going to give me 4K coming out of my computer, but I knew that going in. I was quite surprised I could make it do 4K off the Mac. That was impressive. And of course, I only have 2 gigs of video in this, and I got 4 gigs in this. You know, so I mean, you don't need a high-end display or high-end video card to even run a 4K display. Obviously, we've done that with pushing this to 4K with 2 gigs of video RAM, and both screens are still going. And this is a 5K Retina running off of 2 gigs of video RAM just on its own, never mind sharing 2 other screens. So yeah, that's bonus. However, being said, fantastic display. You've got loads of menu choices in here to you know, do things the way you want, to adjust it and everything. And it's very simple, easy click stuff. No big deal there. Turning off the monitor, just push in, and then you can just hit power off, and that's it, it's off. You know, you want to turn it back on, just push the toggle up top, and it'll turn itself back on. Away you go. Okay, very simplistic. I love the virtually borderless design, as they call it. 31.5 is really good. 27 inches is what I had on here, and I mean 27 to 31.5, that's like 4.5 inches on diagonal, but it also gives you more this way, and it gives you more this way as well with that diagonal. So it is a much larger screen, so I'm kind of happy I went with this, and I'm able to fit it on my desk with my speakers. Had I gone to the 4K TV, I may not have been able to have the same quality of text, or maybe I would. It's hard to say. I don't know. I didn't buy it. And it was a little bit cheaper in price than $400 for the 4K television set, but I'm not watching TV in here, you know, and I don't need a smart TV in here either. You know, that's what the living room's for, right? And 43-inch was kind of like, but a 43-inch in an actual monitor was ching for a reason. Monitors are better quality than TVs. That's a given, right? So even though you got the inputs, you can use them. Necessarily, it doesn't mean that you should, okay? Because you will have some things locking, especially refresh rates. You could end up with a locking issue there too. But I think this is like for me, and if you are into this sort of a size category that you want to go to, this is the perfect size display. And at $400 Canadian in store at Walmart, great. Online, you at Walmart and many other vendors, you are going to pay upwards to $560+ before tax for the exact same screen. So I would buy it in store at Walmart for $400. You can't go wrong. So, and LG is a great product. They really are. I've used their products for years now. Many, many years. I've never had any problems. We still have an LG 42-inch TV that is still in perfect condition. You know, because we do take care of our stuff, but the picture is still perfect, and you know, we use our TV every day, like you know, a lot of other people, and it's still in great condition for an old dog, you know. And you know, it's not a smart TV, but it does have HDMI and all that stuff on it. But it is stuck at 1920 by 1080 on the computer, so it's kind of like, well, you know, I don't know. So we'll have to do some experimenting with stuff. I'll get some videos in my brain to do for monitor comparisons, TVs, and all that. See what we can pull off. But in the meantime, 4.5 out of 5, very easy. Okay, not perfect for sure. Okay, not perfect. Nothing ever is. Price definitely in store, awesome. Online, not so cool. I would honestly never pay more than $400. Period. No matter who's selling it. That's what this is. This is a $400 monitor. It is worth $400. It is a fantastic monitor. I'm going to be happy with it for a long time. And then when it's time to replace it with something bigger, that'll be when I also go to a bigger video card and maybe even a newer computer with a lot more horsepower down the road. But that won't be for a long time, you know. But in the meantime, it is great. And for what it is capable of doing, it is more than adequate, I feel, for like anybody except for those people doing graphic arts and design and movies. Movies you can, you know, split and, you know, do your splitting, but if, like I said, if you want that coloration and that brilliance, even jacking the settings, you're still not going to be able to help yourself enough, because that, honestly guys, is a job to be done on a Macintosh computer, which can be done for far cheaper. Because if you were to try that on a PC, you're going to have to go to a really high-end video card and a super, super expensive display just to get something in front of your face, and you're still not getting it to the printer, okay? And that is the facts and the truth, you know, so take it as you will. But for all the other things in life that we're doing, it is great. So I definitely highly recommend it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and do stay tuned for more, and maybe we'll get into some more Minecraft videos, you know, in the next little while. I mean, hey, it's still winter time. I got nothing to do, you know. A lot of us don't have a lot to do, right? So we might as well play video games and shoot videos and have some fun. But in the meantime, do stay tuned also. I have some more techie stuff coming in, some Amazon orders, stuff I've done. And another little surprise that, well, it's kind of a big item, but you know, we'll stay tuned for that too. But in the meantime, we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.